Chapter 24 of Angel Food Time, Little Talks to Little Folks by Rev. Gerald T. Brennan. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Maria Therese. Chapter 24, 3:30. 3:30. That's a magic moment for boys and girls. At 3:30 the school bell rings and children close their books because school is over for another day. At 3:30 it's time for play, time for baseball or football, time for flying kites, time to play marbles and other games. Yes, when it's 3:30 it's time for fun. Stevie McGill, like all boys, liked to play and have fun. Stevie was always happy at 3:30. He was always one of the first boys to leave school. But he didn't go at once to the playground, nor did the little fellow go straight home. Oh, no! When school was out, where do you think Stevie went? He went first to the church. The boy didn't stay in church very long, just for a few minutes. Then Stevie left the church and joined his friends at the playground. I suppose Stevie McGill thought that no one was watching him. But someone did watch him. Every day at 3:30, Father Grace watched Stevie from the window of his home, and the priest wondered. He wondered why the boy went to the church every day. He wondered what the boy did in the church. The priest knew that Stevie didn't stay in church very long, and therefore he couldn't say many prayers. Father Grace was certainly puzzled. Well, one day Father Grace decided to find out about Stevie's visits. So a little before 3:30 the priest went to the church, hid in the vestry, and waited for Stevie. Sure enough, a little after 3:30 the church door opened and Stevie McGill hurried down the aisle. The priest saw Stevie kneel before the altar, but Stevie couldn't see the priest. Father Grace watched the boy and waited, but the priest didn't have to wait very long. Stevie blessed himself and looked right up at the altar. "I'm Stevie McGill," said the boy out loud, "and I'm back with my troubles. My mother is sick again, and I wish you'd make her better. My dog got into another fight this noon, and this time he got licked. Can't you make Boots be a good dog? And there's one more thing. Please help me with my arithmetic, because that's hard for me. Thanks, Jesus, for everything. That's all this time. I've got to go now." As Stevie McGill hurried out of the church, Father Grace smiled, and I'm sure that God smiled too. God smiled because he knew that Stevie's prayer was a real prayer. It came right from the boy's heart. Stevie was honest and he was sincere. The boy told God just what was bothering him. He told God what he wanted, and he asked God to help him. And another thing, Stevie didn't forget to thank God. The boy didn't use any fancy words, and he didn't read out of a book. He talked to God just like any boy would talk to a friend, and I'm pretty sure that God understood the little fellow. I'll bet that Stevie's prayer was one of the best prayers that God heard that day. Children, it is not hard to pray. It's easy to pray. When you pray, all that you have to do is talk to God, thank God for the things He has given you, and ask God for the things you need. Like Stevie, you can use your own words, and God will understand. You don't need a book, either, because the best prayers come right out of your heart. Your prayers don't have to be long, because, very often, the short prayers are the best prayers. When you pray, you know, you show God that you are thinking about Him. And that's what God wants. God doesn't want you to forget Him, and you won't forget God if you pray. Don't forget that God is everywhere. When you pray, you don't even have to go to church. You can pray in school. You can pray on the street. You can pray on the playground. If you take only a moment and say "hello" to God, that's a prayer. No matter when or where you pray, God will be listening. Isn't it true that you don't say enough prayers? You could say more prayers. Well, then, let's try to say more prayers. Try to say a good many prayers today. Try again tomorrow, and try every day. Make every day a day of prayer. That's the best way to keep close to God. I really think that Stevie McGill taught us a lesson this morning. That little fellow taught us how to pray. I think, too, that this world would be a much better world if we had a few more boys and girls like Stevie McGill. Don't you think so? Well, I do. God bless you, and take good care of yourself. End of chapter 24.